China Open 2012 will be held from 26th of March until the 1st of April, Beijing, China. The defending champion is Judd Trump. Now, I'm curious if all the players will make it on time, and which of the players do you think will suffer from a jet lag the most? That would definitely be Allen and Murphy. They look confused. Maybe Robertson is used to it because he's flying from Australia all the time, and maybe Mark Williams looks always sleepy. Who do you think can eat with chopsticks? Definitely not me. Beijing is vicious and gets his... I think none of the Scottish players can eat with chopsticks. I don't know why I say that, but imagine Higgins eating with chopsticks. No. He eats with his hands like a real man. Ken Doherty looks like he can eat with chopsticks. Oh. Oh. Not me. Which of the players do you think would be good at karaoke? It has to be Selvin. Maybe Ronnie O'Sullivan has a nice jazzy voice as well. I don't know. I never heard him sing. And who do you think will visit a ping pong show? I think all of them. You know, China is big and China is hectic and Beijing. And so, who will get lost in China? Graham Dodd will get lost. Pete Rapton as well. Who else looks a bit disorientated? I don't know. Stephen Hendry for sure. Now when they're at the airport, who do you think looks most suspicious and gets his bum checked for jelly beans? Oh, come on. No, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to give any names. But while we're at the airport, who will be unlucky and loses his suitcase? No, I'm not going to give names again because maybe I will jinx him and he will lose his suitcase. That would be so... No, that's not nice. Who do you think will buy Hello Kitty pajamas and, so to say, for the kids, but when they're back in the hotel, they are wearing them themselves? I think all the players with kids will do that. Hello Kitty is cool. Oh. Oh, my bracelet is stuck. Oh. Now, who do you think can speak the most Chinese, apart from Chinese players, obviously? Well, Lee already has a good last name. Stevens, Gold and Dodd. No. McGuire gets arrested. Lee falls in the water. Come on! I do not have patience for this. Weird people, the Chinese, with those sticks. But obviously that is what they can say about us with our forks and spoons. Oh, okay, I'm full. Tai Chian, everyone! On my computer I have opened a competition form and I'm gonna give a prediction for the first round from the China Open. So, first up we have Judd Trump against Jimmy White. Well, even though Judd Trump is a defending champion, I'm gonna go for Jimmy White, one of my sweetheart favorites. Then we have Bingham against Joe Perry. Bingham. I don't know. Bingham. Stephen Lee against Tom Ford. Stephen Lee. I'm gonna go for Stephen Lee. Graham Dodd against Mark King or a random Chinese player. Dodd. We're gonna go for Dodd. But Mark King, yeah, come on, but still. Dodd. Okay, McGuire against Barry Hawkins. Ooh. How do you, well, I don't know. I go for Stephen McGuire. Okay, Stephen McGuire. Mark Allen against Ricky Walden. Allen. It has to be Allen. O'Sullivan against Campbell. O'Sullivan, else well, he will be crossed again. Mark Williams against O'Brien. Whew. Well, Williams is, yeah, Williams. Okay, but I think maybe O'Brien is gonna win. I don't know, but Williams is a bit. He doesn't really has a. His game varies. You know. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Okay, Mark Selby against Michael Holt. Ooh, I would go for. I would fuck Holt. John Wee against, I don't know against who, so I'm gonna go for John Wee. Alistair Carter against Dominic Dale. Tough one. What about Dominic Dale for a change? Okay, Sean Murphy against Jamie Jones. I'm gonna go for Sean Murphy. Robertson, I'm not gonna even think. I'm not gonna even look. I mean, who is he up against? Robertson is just gonna win. Martin Gold against Stephen Hendry. Ooh, tough one again. Gold can win, but still, I'm gonna go for Hendry. I think he is one of my favorite players. Okay, Stevens against Peter Ebdon. Matthew Stevens. John Higgins against Rory John Higgins. I'm gonna go for Higgins. Oh, but then we have Stevens against Higgins in the second round. So who's gonna win that? Probably Higgins, but I'm gonna go for Stevens. I'm sorry. Okay, then we are in the second round. So for my prediction, I had Neil Robertson now against Stephen Hendry. What do you think? If Robertson is up against Stephen Hendry, who do you think will be the winner of that match? Robertson, maybe. I'm sorry, Hendry. I'm sorry. Dominic Dale or Sean Murphy? Oh. Dominic Dale or Sean Murphy? What? I don't know. Ooh, help me here. How do you guys predict? How do you predict the outcomes of the matches? Do you have your personal favorites, or do you look at how well they've done in the past, or how high they are in the rankings? How do you predict, and how do you think will win? Dominic Dale or Sean Murphy? Oh, I'm just gonna click on Dominic Dale. I don't know. Holt against John Wee. Well, it's China Open, so I'm gonna go for a Chinese player. But John Wee is lacking a bit. He won recently. Oh no, I forgot which tournament he won. Oh, that's so bad. But then the two tournaments after that, he played so poor. Okay, moving on. O'Sullivan against Williams. Why against Williams? Because I like Williams. No, okay, sorry O'Sullivan, but I choose Williams. But I do think he can beat Williams though. But still, okay. Stephen McGuire against Mark Allen. Graham Dodd against Stephen Lee. Jimmy White against Bingham. No, sorry, Bingham. So then we are at the quarterfinals. Bingham against Stephen Lee. At my quarterfinals. Okay. Bingham against Stephen Lee. Then I go for Stephen Lee again. Allen against Williams. Allen. John Wee against Dominic Dale. John Wee. Matthew Stephen against Robertson. Then we have in the semi-finals John Wee against Robertson. So that no Robertson, I think. I don't know. I hope semi-finals. Stephen Lee against Mark Allen. I don't know. So we have in the final. So in my final, we have Mark Allen against Neil Robertson. We're gonna go for I don't know. I probably already made a mistake, so Mark Allen against Robertson, I don't know, let's make Allen a winner of the China Open 2012, I don't know. So make your own predictions, go do that right now and enjoy watching the China Open. Mwah!